Welcome back. We're going to pretend that we would be in class on Wednesday, the 27th, and this is the lesson for that day. It is Ventures 3 at Salvation, Unit 9. This is part 1 of this particular lesson. So we're going to continue with our story about the Ramirez family in the student book, page 117. So we started answering some of the questions at the top of the page, the main idea of the article. Number 2, why did Pedro and Maria move to her sister's home? Number 3, name 3 things that changed Pedro and Maria's life. Number 4, who were the people that helped Pedro and Maria rebuild their lives? Right? 3 people, three answers, right? 1, Maria's family. Number 2, friends. Number 3, complete strangers. Okay. In the second paragraph, what does the word evacuate mean? Well, we did go over that, didn't we? It means to leave a place very quickly because of danger. Number 6, how were Maria and Pedro able to overcome this difficult time? And I hope you're speaking out loud so that you're practicing your English and you're feeling more comfortable using English out loud. So I'm hoping that you said because of family, friends, and complete strangers. Okay, and support from each other. It sounds like they have a very supportive family. So the next part is build your vocabulary. Find the words in the story and underline them. Circle the definitions that best match the reading. So the first word is support. Is it possible that support means pay for necessary things? Yes. Is it possible for support to mean find? I don't know. Is it possible that support means say that you agree with someone? Yes, that's giving verbal and emotional support to someone. But in this case, it means a very particular support. Where is it in the story? That's right. It's near the end of paragraph 1. Everyone, how am I going to support another child without a full-time job? So support here would mean what? Yes, pay for necessary things. Number 2, evacuate. A, clean. B, go inside a house. C, leave a dangerous place. That's right, leave a dangerous place. And where was it in the story? So I hope you're scanning. Paragraph 2, line 5 at the end. Okay, number 3, gathering. A, separating. B, a group of things. C, collecting. Yes, here it means collecting. And where is it in the story? Just under evacuate, while Pedro was gathering. Okay, number 4, grabbed, took quickly. B, held someone by force. Does that mean grabbing someone, holding them by force? Yes. What about stole? Yes. Grabbed means all of these things. But in this story, which one does it mean? Took quickly. And where would we find it? Yes, right under gathering. Louisa grabbed the family photographs. So it's kind of interesting that they decided to use this and have all the meanings correctly, because actually when you steal something, you're probably going to grab it quickly too. Okay. Number 5, destroyed. A, broke completely, killed, or hurt. In this case, broke completely. And where is it in the story? Right-hand side, line 2. So this is how you would give directions for that. Right-hand side of the paragraph, first paragraph, line 2. Next, generous. Critical, giving, or sad. So the word generous is in on the right-hand side, second paragraph, fourth line, and it means giving. Next, strangers, family, friends, or people you don't know. That's right, people you don't know. And where would you find it in the article? That's right, right-hand side, second paragraph on that side, and it's going to be 6 lines down. Okay, good. I hope you're saying that to give you practice as to how to give directions to someone for doing something. Okay. Number 8, message, medical treatment, communication, a person who brings things. That's right, communication. And where is that, message. Where is that going to be in this story? Good. So I hope you said right-hand side, third paragraph, or fifth paragraph of the story, next to the last line, or fifth line down in that paragraph. There it is. Louisa mailed out holiday cards with this message. So message is a communication. By the way, notice that message is very close to massage, right? So the next part we're not going to be able to do, but we continue on and do the workbook part for this particular section of Chapter 9. So now I would like you to please take out your workbook and turn to page 108. Read and circle the correct answers, then listen. Well, we don't have the QR going in this particular learning situation, so if you have it at home, please use it. Everyone, the title, A Helping Hand. Who are the authors? Rodrigo and Elena Gonzalez. Everyone, a year ago, a huge hurricane hit our state. It was the largest hurricane in 40 years, and it destroyed many of the homes in our neighborhood. Everyone had to evacuate. Some people lost everything, their home, their furniture, their car. Luckily, our home was okay, but we felt we had to help our neighbors. What are all the tenses in this paragraph? That's right, simple past tense. Next paragraph. The next day, we started to collect money, clothes, shoes, and food. Everyone was very generous and gave as much as they could. We used the money to buy food and water bottles. 2 days later, we had 3 cars full of supplies. We took them over to the park and set up a shelter. What is the verb form of this paragraph? Simple past. Started, used, had, took. Okay, what is a shelter? What does it mean to shelter? Actually, we're doing it now, and we have been doing it, shelter in place, right? So shelter is a kind of covering. So in this, most people in the United States or here, their shelter is or people in the world, their main shelter is their home. Actually, shelter is a very common expression today referring to magazines. So we would say there are many shelter magazines on the market. If you go to the supermarket, or you go to a bookstore, you're going to see many shelter magazines. So what are they about and what's on the cover? A home. Yes. So anything that talks about home, decorating, how a house looks, that is called a shelter magazine. Okay, let's do the last paragraph. For the next 3 days, we stayed at the shelter. While people were looking for their families and gathering their things, we cooked food, served tea and coffee, and handed out clothes, food, and water. They were really glad to have our support, and we were very glad to have the chance to help them. 1 year later, we started a neighborhood organization to help everyone in our community. It's important to know you can get help from your neighbors. So here is another kind of shelter. It's not your home. It would be a public shelter. It would be a place that the government, usually your county, your town, city government provides people to go to have covering uh, while some disaster or danger is about. So usually that's a school, a gymnasium, um, it might be a arena like they did in New Orleans. People sheltered during the hurricane, and that was the shelter that was offered to them at that particular time. So what else did you notice? What was the verb tense here? Past tense, right? Stayed, cooked, um, so started. There, if in this particular article there was another verb afterwards, what did they use? What form of the verb did they use? We started to collect. The infinitive. That's right. If there's 2 verbs, it's either going to be a gerund or infinitive. A gerund is the verb plus the word to. We started to collect. We used money to buy. Used to buy. Where's another one? We were glad to have the chance. We started to help. It's important to know. So the reason I'm emphasizing this is because we're going to get into more complicated verb forms in Ventures 4. So I want to make sure that you're very secure about when to use past tense, when to use an infinitive after a verb, started to collect, when to use the past continuous and when to use the simple past. Okay, let's go on to the bottom of page 108. Everyone, what is the main idea of this article? Hurricanes are dangerous. People should ask for help. Some people lost everything. Neighbors should help each other. Neighbors should help each other. Next, which event happened first? The writers set up a shelter. The writers bought food and water. The writers collected food and money. The writers started a neighborhood organization. Yes, actually, they collected food and money first. Okay. Number 3, what happened when the writers started to collect supplies? People didn't give any money. B, people gave clothes, food, and money. People gave tents and water bottles. People did not give much. That's right. People gave clothes, food, and money. Number 4, why did the writers feel good? They had to evacuate. B, they got to rebuild their home. C, they didn't need help. Or D, they were able to help their neighbors. The writers felt good because they were able to help their neighbors. Okay, so we're going to start page 109 and continue in the next section. Underline the time phrases, answer the questions. 1, we moved to this country in 2015. A year later, we had a baby. When did they have the baby? In 2016. They had the baby in 2016. Number 2, a hurricane destroyed our home in August. 2 months later, we rebuilt our home. Question, when did they rebuild their home? Answer, October. Full sentence, they rebuilt their home in October. 3, in July, there was a terrible fire in our town. For the next 3 months, we collected money and clothes. When did they stop collecting money and clothes? October. They stopped collecting money and clothes in October. Number 4, at 6 p.m. we heard the fire alarm. 4 minutes later, we evacuated the building. A, at what time did they evacuate the building? 6:04. Complete sentence. They evacuated the building at 6:04. Okay, so remember, at with time. At 6:04. In October. In with a month. In 2016. In with a year. Little prepositions like this are sometimes tricky and difficult. But in a year, what is it? In 2016. The month, October, in October. The time, that's right, at 6:04. Okay, so we are going to stop here, and for the next section, we're going to continue on page 109 in the workbook.